Okay, this is Jimmy Jive, and you listen to Motor City Rock Talk. Today, my guest is a local musician, guitarist, vocalist, songwriter from Liz and The Luckouts. Today, my guest is Liz Scaris. Well, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Well, let's start out. Tell me a little bit of your background, basically where you're from, where you grew up.
Okay. I grew up in Detroit. I started playing music in the late 90s in Detroit with a band called Lizard. I played guitar and had a female drummer, female bass player. We were a three-piece. It was kind of influenced by the 90s grunge music, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden.
What about Joan Jett? Your stuff sounds a bit like Joan Jett, which I love. I love Joan Jett.
Yeah, Joan Jett's my favorite.
Cool.
It was, I first seen Susie Quattro on Happy Days, and I was like, yes. And then I found out about Joan Jett, and then the Runaways, and I'm like, wow, I can do this.
Well, I also understand you played bass with the Runer.
Yes, I was in the Runers for 8 or 9 years. Yeah, about 2005 to 2013.
Yeah, because I just did an interview with Justin Hall.
Okay, cool.
He said it was a great time playing with you, and he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had a great time. We played everywhere and overseas and every venue around Detroit area and Ohio, lots of places, Chicago.
That's really cool. So obviously you play bass also then, if you play bass with them. Do you play any other instruments?
Mostly just bass and guitar.
Let's talk a little bit about this EP that you put out back in 2020. Really, really great stuff. I love it.
Thank you.
I mean, that's kind of thought of Joan Jett, because a lot of that kind of reminds me of some of the Joan Jett stuff. I really love the tongue-in-cheek lyrics that you have, like thrift store whore.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what that song is about.
Thrift shop whore. It's just about always trying to go to different thrift shops and find good deals and pretty much, like the lyrics in that song kind of tell how it is,
Right. But what made you write a song on that? What inspired you to write that particular song? You go to a lot of thrift stores. Do you like shopping at thrift stores, or was it just kind of a comedic thing?
Yeah, we'd always go to thrift shops and, look for cool stage clothes, get good deals, and you never know what you can find, and it's fun.
Yeah, and one of the things you said in that song, of course, that I thought was really funny was when you said down the street from the liquor store. That was really funny. Do you write did you write all those songs yourself, or was that kind of a band thing?
No, I wrote that one myself, from experience.
And the other ones on that EP, did you write all those also?
Leave Me Alone, I wrote that, and I believe everything that's on that. We kind of collaborate. Like I get some ideas from Dan. He's really good at structuring songs and coming up with little things like when he would say, "You're just a whore," in that song. He throws in his stuff, and Gretchen would give me some ideas, and we kind of would all collaborate on it.
Right. One of the videos I saw of you, there was some kind of green screen. Did you guys film that yourself, or was that for some kind of local show? What was that?
Yeah, there was a local show called the GMO Show, and we've been on there a few times, and it's on YouTube, and he would have all kinds of local bands on there.
The tonality of your band is really, really great. I mean, God, the sound, it's just incredible. What about the recordings? Where did you record your EP?
The last one was recorded in 2019 by Paul Smith. He has a studio called Burning Ear Studio. Dan, Gretchen, and I went in there, found out about his studio, and then ended up having him join the band in 2019 because we liked his style. And we said, what do you think? Is there anything you want to add to our CD here? And he added some lead guitar that sounded really cool. So we said, join the band, because we were a three-piece before that. Yeah, he did a great recording.
Are you guys guys a three-piece, or are you now a four?
Well, we added Paul, and he joined us in 2019, and we did like one show, and then the pandemic hit, and then 21 we revamped with Paul and played about, maybe 2 or 3 shows after that. Now our bass player, Gretchen, has this injury of her shoulder, so she can't play right now, so we're kind of like on a break.
Any new recordings in the works? Are you still working on some new material? I mean, all you've got is an EP, which is really excellent, but I'd love to hear more.
We have been working on a lot of original new songs, kind of the same tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. Yeah, it's just all we have to do is get together and lay them down.
Now, you say you're out of Detroit area. One of the things I saw on your page there is that you went to Bishop Borges High School. That's my neck of the woods.
Okay.
When you say Detroit, are you actually somewhere in Detroit or the outskirts of Detroit? I mean, the basis for the band.
Well, yeah, basically, I grew up in the Detroit area, like over there by Outer Drive and Warren, and then the west side of Detroit area. And now I moved out towards like Royal, Warren area. I was living in Warren. We had a studio in Warren where we recorded our we had Gretchen record our first 2 EPs that we made.
Are those available anywhere? Because all I find was the one thing on Spotify. Where would you find the other stuff? Is it on YouTube? Or?
Yeah, on Spotify we should have the Twisted EP and also the Outbreak, and also Amazon Music has Twisted, and it also has the Outbreak TV.
I must have missed that on Spotify, because all I saw there was the Outbreak P. I'll have to double check. Maybe I missed it.
On YouTube we have Gretchen's Fun Shop, where she's put all our shows are on there, live local bands, every band all of us have played in. It's all on Gretchen's Fun Shop on YouTube, and she has all of our EPs and recordings. Yeah.
You had mentioned that you had played with the Ruiners, and you played everywhere, you played overseas. As far as Liz and The Luckouts, where have you guys played? I mean, I saw some of the videos. Are there certain clubs that you played at more often than others in the area?
A lot of times in Ferndale, we've played at the New Way Bar, I really like Road Rangers. Mm-hmm. We played Diesel, played the Blind Pig, Northern Light.
Anything on the west side?
Yeah, we played the Token Lounge a lot.
That's right down the street from me.
Okay, yeah, we played there with Frigid Pink before, and that was a good show.
Who are some of the other bands that you would have played with, as an opening act or headline act?
We played this one Riverfest before. We opened for Sponge and Starship and so many. I know when I was in the Ruiners, we played with a lot of different opening acts with like Question Mark and Mysterians.
Yeah, they're going to be doing a gig with them next.
Yeah, that money.
Or is that tonight? I'm sorry, it's tonight. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Because I had done an interview with Jungle Josh, who's their latest guitarist / keyboard player. But I had been corresponding quite a bit with Justin Hall, and he's turned me on to a lot of bands. And he was one of the ones that mentioned your band, and I said, "Oh, okay, let me check that out." It's like, wow, this is really killer. Because I like that. I really like that straight ahead rock that you do. Obviously, like I said, I mentioned the Joan Jett. Anybody else that would have inspired you as a songwriter back in the early days? Or?
Yeah, I would say like Concrete Blonde, Jeanette Napolitano. I really loved all her songs. And of course, Chrissie Hynde and the Pretenders, Kiss when I was a kid, and Pat Benatar, all kind of.
The other thing I noticed in the videos was the gear that you used. What kind of guitar is that you're using?
It's a Fender Scorpion. Yeah, it's very nice and light. I love it.
Well, the other thing too I noticed was the one guitarist, and I imagine that's the guy that you were talking about earlier that had the studio. Pretty tall in relationship to you and the bass player. So are you kind of tiny?
Yeah, we're like 5'3". He's about at least 6 feet tall.
Have you ever considered on any of your music of adding like any kind of keyboard, or do you just?
Yes, I thought about it and tried to find a keyboard player for a while and never found one.
Never found one, or just didn't find one that fit into what the style you were trying to write?
I guess never just found one. I put an ad out there and nothing.
Where do you put ads these days? I mean, it used to be, Metro Times and Jam.
Right.
Where do you put ads now for musicians?
On Facebook. That's there's like musician pages, and that's where we found our drummer Dan. He joined the band in 2013 because we revamped it. Before that, it was me and a few guys playing, and then we got Dan. Yeah, I found him on Facebook.
So your bass player, Gretchen, Has she been with you for a long time? Is she like one of the originals as far as The Lookout?
Yeah, she joined in 2009. So I had a different bass player before then, and then she came in 2009. And I also played in a few cover bands with her, and she's been around. She used to play in a band called Huntress back in the...
No way. Seriously?
Yeah, back in the... Yeah, and she's got all her Huntress videos on her Gretchen's Fun Shop page. And then with the drummer from Huntress, I was playing with her also. We did a cover band together, and even like last year we got together and played at the Catchy Cafe under the blind bat and just did a show.
That's interesting you mentioned Huntress, because
Yeah.
I was in a band for the last five years or so with the lead guitarist Trina Manning. You know her?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, small world.
Yeah. So Gretchen was part of that, was part of Huntress, right? Because I know they played all over the...
Yeah, that's when, I was like about 18. I'd go to Harpo's and see them play, and I'm like, man, that bass player, that drummer, I want to play with them one of these days.
Yeah, very solid. It was kind of sad to me that they never did any real recording, at least as far as I know. I mean, a few songs, but nothing that I ever saw that was put out by them, unless I'm missing it.
Yeah, if you go to Gretchen's Fun Shop, you'll see all the... Gretchen has Huntress live video on there and actual recordings.
Wow, I'll have to check that out, because being with Trina, she's very shy, especially as far as her playing and all that. We did a show, a band that I was in with was called Puff and Stuff, and I guess you can probably get the reference from that. And we opened up for House of Lords at the Token Lounge. Could never get her to turn her guitar up. And it was like, oh man, you're a shredder, go for it.
Right.
And she's always so shy. What kind of amplification do you use? I mean, I was trying to check that out in the video too, to see what kind of amp that you were using. What are you playing on as far as that?
I was playing through Blackport speaker cabinets. They're made in Michigan. I use a Marshall head.
Do you use
Laney head.
pedals at all?
Nope, I just like some straight up distorted sound, no pedals.
And her bass rig is very interesting too. I was trying to figure out what that was. It's back when I played bass, was using Ampeg and using, actually in the early days, PV. What kind of rig was she using?
I think she used to use a PV, and now sometimes use the Behringer and the other one, maybe Gillian Kruger or something like that.
Yeah. So other than her being hurt, have you guys got anything lined up down the line as far as gigs or anything, or recordings?
Oh, we were supposed to play, Dan lined up something for us at like Three Blind Mice, and then Gretchen got this, it's called frozen shoulder, and so her shoulder can't even move right now. They said it could be it has to heal on its own, could take maybe 3 years, let's hope not, lifting heavy amps and equipment and stuff, and out of nowhere, she woke up with this frozen shoulder, and
Anyway, so you've been playing quite a while, obviously. Do you remember your first gig?
Boy, yeah, I do. It was with the band Lizard. We played, I think it was at Paychecks, of course, in Hamtramck.
Yeah, I remember playing Paychecks. And did you get to play at Lily's?
Nope, never did play at Lily's until it turned into some other bar after Lily's.
Did you ever get to play a place called the Studio Lounge? That's also
Yes.
What'd you think
I
of
did
that
play
place?
with my first band there. Lizard played at Studio Lounge, and I know Huntress used to play that Studio Lounge a lot also.
What did you think of the place as far as the sound and just...
In the studio lounge?
The studio lounge.
It was kind of weird, the whole layout of that bar. Wasn't it like sideways?
Yeah, it was.
It was.
And did you ever have any issues with monitors, sound system kind of monitors in any of these clubs?
Yeah, it was always hard to hear yourself on stage.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because the layout of some of these bars.
So tell me a little bit more about that EP that you recorded. How long did it take to do that?
It took us about 8 months. Yeah, the recording wasn't, didn't take long. It was the mixing it. Evan Paul, he's a busy guy. He's playing in a few different bands, and so we had to wait for him to all get together and get in there and produce it, mix it, get it the way we like. And then the EP before that was recorded at Metro 37. That one didn't take too long to record either.
I'm not familiar with that studio. Where is that? Where was that located at?
That was in Rochester Hills. I think that one's closed down now.
So if you were to go back in and record, which I'm assuming you probably will eventually, where would you go in to record? Do you have your eyes set on someplace specific?
Well, we'd probably go back with Paul at Burning Air Studio. It's right in his house.
Okay.
And he's great at it.
One of the videos I also saw, it showed, and it was really a wild video as far as that. It said something about being an audition, and basically it just highlighted the drummer, and it was like green look and all that. Was that in his basement studio?
I believe it was down in the basement, yep, at Paul's.
Wow. So is that where you guys more or less rehearse there also, or just go there and record? Yeah,
we were rehearsing there, recording there. He's got it all set up. He's got tons of amps. You just show up and rock.
Yeah, because I mean, that looked like a really cool scene down there as far as the decoration. And I don't know about you, but for me, atmosphere really helps as far as like getting the vibe of the rock.
For sure.
Yeah. Now, do you write any of your stuff on acoustic at all, or do you pretty much flat out just plug in your Marshall and you go at it?
Yep, I usually just plug it in. I'll write the words first, and then I'll plug in the guitar and, hit some chords, see what goes with it, and
That's interesting. You say that you write the lyrics first.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artists don't do that. They come up with a riff or a jam, and depending on the vibe, they write lyrics around it. So you do it the other way. That's really cool. So are most of your lyrics, your songs that you come up with, are they based on like personal experiences or stuff in the news, or both?
Yeah, most of them are just, personal experiences, how I'm feeling. I have some new ones that I'm working on now that I've gotten ideas like from my dog.
Yeah, I saw some stuff with your dog. That was really cool. What kind of dog is that, by the way? We have a Schnauzer, and that kind of looked like a terrier of some sort.
Yeah, she looks like she's a terrier Schnauzer mix. Mm-hmm. I just rescued her about a year ago.
Oh, that's awesome. It also said on your bio information there's something about working Prava Studios or Prava Music or something.
Oh yeah, that was when I was in the Runers. We were signed to Pravda Records.
Uh-huh.
And one of our albums I recorded 4 albums with the Runers, and one was with Pravda Records.
So were you working there too, more or less, or was that just a reference to that?
Yeah, that was just our record was through them, and we were doing some Pravda record showcases, and they were out of Chicago, so our Chicago shows were through them.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned also that you toured with them over in Europe. How was that experience?
It was fun. Norway was great, and Sweden. The people over there are just so much different. It'll be a weekday, and the show would be packed. And they love American music over there. So
you didn't have any issues over there? Because I asked Justin that because Norway had gotten a bad rap quite a while about some of the death metal bands causing some disturbances. You didn't have any issues with any of that?
No, this was like around 2006, I think we were there when it was, or sometime in the early 2000s when things were a lot better and not so crazy as it is these days. So it was very cool. They were very welcoming. It was fun. Good time.
Playing like festivals or clubs or both?
Yeah, we played big festivals. And we also have those are all on YouTube, and played small underground some cave-in place in Norway. It was pretty cool.
Being that you were playing bass with them at the time, what kind of bass gear were you using?
Well, like when we went overseas, I just played whatever bass cabinet they had, but I usually used, I had a Behringer bass cabinet that was really good. Yeah, that was mostly what I used.
Yeah, because a friend of mine plays bass, and he really likes the Behringer too. Be careful with those things. Carrying them around, they're not like PDs, they're a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah, that's true.
And we did you guys have any kind of roadie help with the Runers?
Not really. I've always mostly carried my own equipment, and I'm feeling it these days now.
Aren't we all?
Boy, yes. After all those years of carrying equipment, it's like, this next gig better be worth it,
That keep the equipment smaller now. You notice that how so much of the stuff is getting smaller.
You don't really need big amps anymore. Everyone's, micing it. Bring the smallest one you have.
Yeah, you don't need a double Marshall stack anymore because so many of the rooms are set up so much better. I don't know about the last time you were I mentioned the Token Lounge. That's very state of the art there as far as that, And there are some other clubs that I've seen. I've been to Smuggler's Run down the Wyandotte. They're really great. Of course, it's better in the summertime as far as that place because it's right on the river. What were some of the favorite clubs that you played in? Did you have any that were more favorites? What I mean by that, as far as your sound that you felt better about as far as your overall sound.
I really like the sound at Road Rangers. That's down in Taylor. They're really good with their sound. Diesel Lounge, that's in Chesterfield. Their sound's really good. I like the Token Lounge sound.
What was the last time you were at the played there?
Probably 2017.
Oh, okay. So that's that far long.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of semi-national acts there now. Totally different from back in the day. I don't know if you had ever played that club where they used to have the stage set up totally at the other end of the bar, if that was before your time.
Right, yeah.
Or when they were called, actually they changed the name, they were called the Mosquito Club.
Oh, okay.
You remember
that? I know Gretchen played the Mosquito Club, and I'm like, Mosquito Club? What's that? There's like videos of her at the Mosquito Club with some old bands. And,
that was when it was a change of ownership. They're trying to get a bit more into the grunge thing when the grunge scene was more or less taking over. Did you ever get to play at Blondie's? That's another club I used to love.
Right. Nope. I don't think I played at Blondie's.
Were you over there? Have you been to the club or just?
There was a Blondie's on 4th Street.
Yeah.
Was that the new Blondie's?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I got to see Doro Pesch there, which was totally awesome.
What about the Ritz or Harpo's? Have you played those places also? Possibly with the Runers?
I played at the Ritz, but it was the new Ritz. It was in Warren. I used to go see Gretchen's band, Huntress, at Harpo's all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about like Tracks? Do you remember Track?
Nope, I never got to go to Tracks.
So you must be younger than I am. If you
Right, I missed all those. Yeah, I missed those, but I know like Gretchen and Huntress and all them played at Tracks and all the older bars that I missed.
Well, y'all look pretty young as far as that, so I wouldn't think you'd be old enough to remember that anyway. Well, anyway, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I just wanted to, like I said, I was curious of the music because I really liked that EP. Really loved Joan Jett. I don't want to pigeonhole you, but I mean, it just kind of reminded me of that straight ahead rock stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. Have you had people reference you before to like Joan Jett or?
Yeah, like the local Joan Jett.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the
cool.
You've got the black hair and the straight ahead sound. Do you play much lead guitar? I saw you play some leads. Is the other guy play more leads than you?
Yeah, when we were just a 3-piece, I did the leads all on the like check out the Twisted EP. All the leads on there I did, and yeah, that's all on Gretchen's Fun Shop. And also you can check out all our videos. And there's some Joan Jett videos on there that, we recorded, Arts Beats and Needs, all kind of stuff on there you might like.
I also noticed you had commented on one of the interviews I did with Karen Monster. About, had you seen her? Or is that a little older for you?
Yeah, she's awesome. I mean, I didn't get to see her back in the day when she played at Lily's. I've seen her videos, and some of my friends were older than me and got to go and had her CDs, or actually it was cassettes back then.
Right.
And I would hear the cassettes and be like, yeah, this stuff's awesome.
Well, anyway, like I said, I'm going to let you go.
All right.
Keep in touch, or at least, post anything you can on there as far as upcoming shows. I'd really love to see you guys play because I really dug the sound that you had on the EP, and hopefully you guys can continue with that and get something going up. Gretchen feels better soon. It doesn't hurt up too much. Give my best to her and tell her that, Trina says hello.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. Appreciate it.
No problem. You take care now.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye. That was Liz Scaris, and this is Jimmy Jive saying, keep rocking.